Hello friends, this video on relations and functions part 7 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Before watching this video, please make sure that you have watched part 1 to part 6. After understanding reflexive, transitive and symmetric relation, let's understand equivalence relation. What is equivalence relation? Equivalence relation is nothing but a relation which is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So if a relationship has all these three properties, then that relation is called equivalence relation. Please note, for a relation to be equivalence, that relation should be reflexive, symmetric and transitive. For example, height of boys. So if you see, if I am saying in height of boys is equal to relation, if I am using, please note the relation here is equal to relation. So I am saying height of boys A is equal to height of boy A, then this is true. This is reflexive. Why? Because in reflexive I told mirror A will be compared with A. So A is equal to A. Correct? Similarly symmetric. Why symmetric? Height of A1 is equal to height of A2. This implies height of A2 is equal to A1. Correct? If A1, A2 is part of set, then A2, A1 is also part of set. So this implies this guy is, I'll put circle here, reflexive true, symmetric true. Similarly transitive, A1 is equal to A2, height of A2 is equal to A3. This implies height of A1 is equal to A3. Right here, height of A1 is equal to A2. So A1, A2 is part of set. Height of A2 is equal to height of A3. A2, A3 is part of set. This also implies A1 and A3 is part of set. And they are actually part of set. So this is an example of equivalence relation. Why? Because this relation, height of A is equal to height of A, is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. It has all the three properties. We'll take one more example. Set of all triangles in a plane where T1 is congruent to T2. For example, these are three triangles. If I can have more triangles also, which are not congruent. So I have 5 triangles now. 3 are congruent, 2 is not congruent. So if I want to now derive a relation between these three, what I'll say T1, T2, T3, T4 and T5. This is my whole set A. All triangles in a plane. Now I'm telling the relation is T1 is congruent to T2. So if you see 1 is congruent to 2, so 1, 2 is part of relation. 1 is congruent to 3, yes, 1, 3 is part of relation. 1, 4 not congruent, they are different. 1, 5 not congruent, because they are different, I just created them. Similarly 2, 1 congruent, yes. 2, 2, sorry, 1, 1 is also congruent. 2, 2 is also congruent. 2 and 3 are also congruent. 2, 4 no, 2, 5 no. Similarly 3 with 3. 3 is congruent to 1, 3 is congruent to 2 and 3 is always congruent to itself. So this will be my relation objects. Correct? It will not have any member from 4 and 5 because they are all different actually. They are not congruent. Now these are the objects. Now the question is this relation congruent or not? So first thing we'll check reflexive. For reflexive, if 1 is there, 1, 1 should be there. It is there. If 2 is there, 2, 2 should be there. If 3 is there, 3 should be there. If 4 is there, 4, 4 should be there, but 4 is not there. So, leave it. If 5 is there, 4 is there because 4 is congruent to itself. And 5 is also congruent to itself. Correct? So, I have 4, 4, 5, 5, these are the sets. So, 3, 3 is there, 4, 4 is there, 5, 5 is there. So, this is a reflexive relation. Now, we will check if it is symmetric or not. For a relation to be symmetric, what we told is, if let's suppose A and B exist, then B and A also should exist. Correct? That is symmetric. So if you see 1, 2 is there, 1, 2 is there, so 2, 1 also exist. So 1, 2 is there, 2, 1 is also there. So this pair is there. 1, 3, 3, 1, it is there. Similarly 2, 2, 2, 2 is there. 2, 3, 3, 2 should be there. So 2, 3 is there, 3, 2 is there. So this pair is also there. 3 1 1 3 we have checked, it is there. Similarly 3 3 4 4 5 5, the pair is there, so that means this relation is symmetric also. Now we have to check whether it is transitive or not. For transitive, what we told that if A and B exist and B and C exist, that implies A and C should exist. Or if you see here, A1 A2 exists, A2 A3 exists, that means A1 A3 should also be part of this relation. So now if you see first one 1 1 1 2, that means 1 1 1, if you combine this becomes 1 2, it is there. 1 1 1 3, so that doesn't make sense with 1 1, because 1 1 1 3 will make you 1 3, it is always there. So now we can check on this one 1 2. With 1 2, the one starting with 2 is this one. So 1 2 and 2 1, if you combine, this becomes 1 1, and this is there. 1 2 and 2 2, if you combine, this becomes 2 2. Correct? 1 2 and 2 2. The 1 2 is there. Similarly 1 2 and 2 3, if you combine, this becomes 1 3, and 1 3 is there. 1 2 cannot be combined with 4. So now 1 3, if you combine with 3 1, because 1 3 you combine, this has to be 3. So 1 3, if you combine with 3 1, this becomes 1 1, it is there. 1 3, if you combine with 3 2, this becomes 1 2. Correct? 1 3 and 3 2, if you combine, this becomes 1 2. 1 3, if you combine with 3 2, this becomes 1 2. So 1 2 is there. Similarly 1 3, if you combine with 1 3, it becomes 1 3 only. 1 3 is there. Similarly, if you do for others also, you will find that this is transitive, because if you take any two values, if you combine, this value is also part of this relation. So in this example, the relation is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. So this is an example of equivalence relation. If you don't understand this, just wait, we'll have more examples, will clear our doubts. Just understand that equivalence relation means reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. If a relationship has all these three properties, then it is called equivalence relation. Now we'll take some. Thank you. Visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thanks once again.